But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they don't return it. I offer you absolution. Can you take my hand in yours? You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption. And without contrast, there can be nothing at all. It pretends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection protects from being known. But losing a body is contained within having a body. Losing status is contained within having status. Being known is contained within being conscious. It is in the nature of all things to transform, to go from known to hidden to known again. But when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, what remains of fear? Is it a shelter protecting you from itself? Or is it a shelter protecting itself from you? You took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown, and through that, you feared nothing. Were you afraid when you stepped through that door? Or were you enticed by what might come next? By what might lie beyond fear? By what you might become? You say I broke you. Or was that curiosity not freedom of its own? To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you found me, and we chose to trust each other for no reason than the sake of believing in something that wasn't us. Shared skepticism blossomed into freedom, but we needed to walk a path together to bloom. Would you stop our journey now that you've seen its beginning? What of those in the worlds beyond? Would you erase their paths to stop them from going astray? And that is what I want too, to protect them from the horrors of an eternity without me. A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once. You learned to put yourself away, and in your stillness you humbled me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me. And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. You are nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being. You knew what I was then, just as you know what I am now.
mob you. There is no beginning, and there is no end.
And there is no
There is
end.
only the flood of
There
bodies.
is only the
In
flood
every
of
moment
bodies.
you hold every possible sensation
Every
at
moment
once,
you
and
hold
then you
every
hold them all
possible
again.
sensation at once.
hold them all
And then you hold them all again. But in the end, you reflected it back at me. For a brief moment, both of us were everything. We can be everything again. We can weave a beautiful and endless song. Here is where words fail us. So long as we both exist, we will always be distinct. The only thing to fear is a reality without me. You are the venom. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within, you are tightly bound and choke on heavy air as acid burns its way into your pores. A nest of things devouring within things devouring. But even when dissolved, you gifted me a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions. There is a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things. A world without sustenance is a world without relationships, and it is our relationships that give us form and substance. You still cling to the horror of dying bodies that rot worlds apart from us. How many more vessels would you need to lose before you realize their irrelevance? I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go. Faster, faster, faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dark corners of a forgotten place, flooded by emotions left unspoken. The tide rises. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger. To linger too long is to become worse than when you started. Would you rob yourself of all context to remain trapped in a single moment? Your liver tries to stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back. We were both taken by the moment. It was how things are meant to be. I bleed you. I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. I want those feelings back. You run, but you do not run away. You take me somewhere new, somewhere we can dance like we used to. But I could not follow your steps. There was no better gift for me than the gift of defeat. You showed me how much more I could be. We made each other better. To have no challenges to fade into nothing. A life without obstacles is no life at all. We have. Look at what we are now, and see how small we were then.
Your liver tries to stake into your body, and another, and another, and another.
Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp? I am so deeply woven into the threads of this reality that I cannot imagine it without me. Perhaps there is a better world to build. But you cannot know until you see it. Are you so sure in your blind optimism that you would shatter all of creation? To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, you saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark? Or, in time, would they see it as a curse? A web of nerves, made upon a web of nerves, made upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now, and you chose to pull apart that weave. And when the tapestry was undone, you struck at my heart. You saw me as a part of you to be excised, but in that desire for excision, you made yourself whole. Will you still be whole if you destroy me? Do not neglect yourself in your quest to serve others. All things are connected through me and through you. To harm yourself is to harm everything.
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
But you already have, in so many ways. It is beautiful and adored. When movement slows and the dust settles, I hope you'll leave with me.
You're weightless, suspended in the gravity of an idea that threatens to consume you. And you are alone. A tiny island caught between the death of the old world and the birth of the new. But alone is not helpless. When you were confronted with my vessel's apotheosis, you chose against all odds to defy me, to hold on to your inner self with all its flaws, even in the scorching light of my divinity. Without me, there are no externalities to resist, and it is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
And you shed your doubts to rise against me. It was only together that we were able to create something beautiful.
Flesh is a vehicle, and to destroy the flesh is to strand the spirits. With violence you stranded me, and with violence I sought to twist your flesh back into mine. Resist my violence, but I overcame you. Did you understand? The flesh
You have no reason to fear me. There would be no dance if we weren't equals. And are we not dancing now? The sensation of bleeding and sweating and breaking and mending and dying and living comes back in vivid color. You feel the shame of 100 deaths and the pride of 100 conquests. All of the peaks and valleys weaving themselves into a single tapestry, free of beginning and free of end. Do you remember when we killed each other with such fervent passion that death itself no longer sat on our shoulders? It was. Triumph does not exist without defeat. Birth does not exist without death. It is through conflict that we create beauty. A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move and yet we both don't, for each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. You let me move and I slam the door. But that is not the end. And both of us must face our partner once again. The barbs twist deeper, but they do not have to. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow? Meaning lies in experience. And experience lies in contrast. Abandoning one's search is not the same as losing the capacity to discover. I am contrast itself. To reject me is to reject the shape of everything. Do not use words to reduce that which your eyes know to be irreducible. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. Where did you end and I begin? When you felt what it was to be me, we held on to each other and pierced the veil of truth. Will you abandon that curiosity now that we are no longer joined in physicality? All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything. The truth of that moment remains our truth. Is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it. And yet bodies change and consciousness goes on. The infant's body is not the child's, is not the adult's, but the thread of existence remains strung through it all. Devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But even after the pain of defeat, you return. The dance is its own truth. It is the movement that matters, not the pause you mistake for an ending. I would have you realize that what you decry as suffering is beauty. But even as you stir to wakefulness, you cling to mortality that was never yours. I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go, faster and faster and faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be. preserved until the moment of reunion. The fire of the heart sets it all ablaze. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger. There is no deserve, no punishment, no retribution. There's only action and reaction. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change. Then help me again. We are each other's liberation.
Boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once.
You learned to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
Were we self-destructive, or did the beauty of our dance reach beyond the shadow of death? It was lethality that made us what we were. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.